This is where it gets real dangerous. And this is the part they always leave out. He's definitely not a Christian, and he's vehemently against Jesus being who he says he was. As a matter of fact, he goes on to talk about many different people who he thinks could be Jesus. He talks about Andronicus the First, who was marked by political failures, tons of scandals. He says that Jesus was him. He also goes into another part where he thinks that Jesus was Pope Gregory the Seventh, who also was tied up in a bunch of controversies during the Gregorian Reform. He attributes Jesus to two historical characters, not being divinity. As a matter of fact, he'll even insert gods like Dionysus in there to play the Jesus figure. So here was this guy who little seasonists have put on a pedestal because he gets rid of 700 to 1,000 years in his new chronology. He says that it was rewritten, they shortened time, they're trying to trick humanity. And you'll hear him a lot of times say, Anatoly Fomenko, and he's this brilliant mathematician, and he says that 700 to 1,000 years are gone, and then they move on because you don't want to go into who Anatoly Fomenko was. Check this out. So Anatoly Fomenko, he didn't get this from nowhere. He gets this from another guy named Nikolai Morozov, and Morozov was a Russian revolutionary. Well, here's another interesting thing about him. He's a Freemason. He's actually a prominent Freemason in Moscow. So Moscow started what they call the Renaissance Lodge under the Grand Orient of France. And they were bringing in these elite minds. And actually it was a stringent process to get into this lodge. So he also started with rewriting history. He wrote this, The Revelation in Storm and Thunder, and he talks that the revelation to John dated astronomically to September 395 AD. So he moved the timetable up as well. So this is where Anatoly Fomenko got his idea from, was from this Freemason who, guess what he got his idea from? He got his idea from John Ardwin, who John Ardwin was a prominent Jesuit who was manipulating 14th century historical files that were coming into him. And he was saying that guys like Herodotus, Pliny the Elder, all of these were falsifying the time frame that they were talking in. So he was the precursor to Nikolai Morozov, who was the precursor to Fomenko. So when you track that all the way back, we've got a Jesuit, a Freemason, and then a guy who denies the divinity of Jesus. How in the world are we as Christians taking the word of these people? And this is exactly what they've done to erase history, the little seasonists. Oh, I love Anatoly Fomenko. He gets rid of 700 to 1,000 years. It makes my system work with my theory.